Bilal Muhammad doing what he does.
My Canelo hands.
Shut up, loser. I'm just pissed today. I'm pissed. Yeah,
I love it. I love this energy that you're bringing to the channel today.
he's 39, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on Locked Door MMA. We're your hosts. I'm Brevin. This is my good buddy, JP. And in today's episode, we will be breaking down and going over every single fight for UFC Fight Night Burns versus Malott in Winnipeg, Canada. But before we do, I know JP is going to want to cover some things from UFC 327. We have to hold off on that for now because I just want to give a quick shout out to all of you guys that view our channel, all of our subscribers, and even those that are not subscribed. We appreciate you guys for tuning in every single week. But you guys know the drill. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss out on our predictions for any of these UFC cards because we are the best in the world. But JP, I'll let you talk through UFC 327. Some interesting things happened. It was a great card overall, and we had the opportunity to watch it together in person. So that was a blast as always.
I mean, if we got the option to handpick which one card out of the year we were going to watch together, we haven't even seen what's going to happen the rest of the year. I feel like we picked the best one. I mean, that shit was crazy. Okay. I mean, obviously everybody's talking about the main event. Okay. I'm going to be honest. Your boy lost all hope. Okay. It was it for your boy. I was pretty much laying my comforter out in my coffin. All right. I was ready to rest, go to bed, put me to rest, put me out of my misery type stuff. And I hear Brevin just go absolutely berserk behind me. And I turn around and Yuri is unconscious on the ground. So talk about what the hell. And then I watch what happened. Because Carlos blew out his knee. Okay. First things first. I mean, the record was what it was. Obviously, we're not happy with the record. But like, when you get a card that was that good, that many crazy shit that happens, not that upset about it, honestly. I mean, one of the best cards we've ever seen. One of the best fights. Not even heavyweight fight. Just fights ever, in my opinion. Just nuts. So it is what it is type stuff. But I was like, this sucks. And then the way we were going to lose, in my eyes, the main event pick, which was by far the most controversial pick we had on the card, was because this dude blew his knee out on a weird step. I was over it. I was pissed. And then he Fink clips him. All the haters out there got to take it on the chin. I don't want to hear nothing. I've been seeing people say, this man caught a lucky punch. All these Olberg bettors and predictors by the hair of their chin or whatever. All this crap. Y'all got to take it on the chin like Yuri did. Okay? Because we're taking our losses on the chin like Murzakhanov did. Is what it is. Bad picks here, bad picks there. Kelvin lost. That was crazy. Got Darst. The Darst Knight returns. But yeah, everybody's lighting us up all week about Olberg doesn't have power. Yuri's only lost to Pereira. And I told Brevin I was going to say this. Styles make fights. Everybody is so biased and what is it called? I'm forgetting it right now. Recency bias. Mm-hmm. I do not care that he only lost to Alex Pereira. You guys only see the names. These Styles make the fights. Me and Brevin sat here and said, Carlos manages distance phenomenally well. He does have power. Yuri gets hit by everybody he fights. And then everybody, oh, you got lucky, you got this, you got that. Sure. Okay. Whatever. And then people are calling Yuri a liar or like saying he was bullshitting about his answer. What? It doesn't make sense. Half this community does not make sense. This is who Yuri is. Like he's a weirdo. We know this. He was complaining about black magic in the Pereira fights. And now you guys are calling him a liar. He's a weirdo. This is just what he does. But I don't know. Crazy shit. I was walking away because I was like, this dude blew out his knee. This is just crap. Whatever it is what it is. Slumps him with the check left. And then Hockett and Blades. I mean, one of the best fights we've ever seen. Best heavyweight fight of all time. Josh Hockett with all the stuff before the fight. Is what it is, I guess. Dude's corny. But when you fight like that, wow. Crazy stuff, man.
Yeah. And you guys better lock in because it's only going to get even more extreme when he's fighting on the White House card. So
Oh, God.
we will see what he comes up with then. I'm a little concerned. I think maybe it was a little bit of a bad idea having him. Imagine if they had Sean Strickland and Josh Hockett on the White House card at the same time. That would be absolutely absurd. But luckily, we only get one of them. But yeah, if you guys don't know JP on a personal level, I'll tell you one thing. He is way more of a glass half empty, and I'm more of a glass half full kind of guy. So I still believe and have hope even when a guy blows out his knee and JP's like, "Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm done with this. It's over." And all of a sudden, the tide turned and I was screaming and JP was shooketh. It was awesome.
I couldn't. Like, I literally turned my back to the TV and just put my hands in the air. And I was like, this, like, you can't make this shit up. You can't. And then I hear them screaming behind me. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I turn around. Dude's sleeping. I mean, you can't make that up either. This is one of the craziest things I've seen in a long ass time, dude. I don't remember. I felt mercy. Let's go for that. We still love Yuri, by the way. We always have, always will. That's who he is, bro. So, is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, but good card overall. But this weekend, JP, another good card. It is a fight night, and I know we're coming off an extremely good card, so it may feel less impactful for you, but that is okay. Some good fights, some good young prospects, and a lot of people making their UFC debut. A little bit intriguing whenever that's the case. Also, it's hard to predict sometimes because you just don't have a ton of UFC stuff to go off of, right? Like you can look one way on the regional scene and then you step up in competition to the UFC and it's a whole different level. So we're really going to find out a lot about some of these fighters this weekend, which I'm excited for and hopefully you guys are too. So without further ado, let's dive into this card. First fight of the night, we've got Jamie Siraj taking on John Yannis.
Yeah, this one is going to be another one. People are complaining about name value. All right, we always say the same crap. We'll have to see how these people perform. Like Brevin said, they come into the UFC. Some people want to make a name for themselves. Some people don't. John Yannis, I mean, got choked out by Austin Bashy. He's a striker, guys. He's a striker with decent power. And he can strike. His technique's okay. When he comes up against a guy who's well-rounded and a well-sound grappler, struggles. Gets beat. Siraj is just the more well-rounded guy. Okay, he can strike decently well, and he's the better grappler. And he's Canadian. On top of that, he's a hometown guy that they're trying to get a win, and that's probably why they gave him Giannis, because they know he's got a chance of getting to this guy, getting his hands on him at grappler, right? And then you might look and say, well, it's a close fight. Giannis might put him out. Maybe. But you got to go back to our rule of thumb. Who's got more ways to win in his home country, whatever it is? Give us a Siraj.
Yeah, home country.
I was going to say
sure.
hometown, but
Yeah, well, Canada might be a town as well. Um, you guys will hear us say that a lot. Who's got more ways to win? Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. JP and I, we research every single week. We watch our results come to fruition every single week. And one of the things that stands out the most is usually the fighters with more ways to win end up winning. And that's because the fight game is not just one aspect. It's not just the stand up. It's not just the wrestling and it's not just the grappling. You've got to be able to be, at least decent in all three phases to stand a chance because otherwise guys are good enough and skilled enough to take advantage and win fights because of your weaknesses. And that's what I see in this matchup right here. Like JP said, Giannis's hands are good. The grappling, the wrestling, not so good. So if the fight does go down to the canvas, Siraj has the advantage. I also think Siraj's, boxing is striking is technical. It's good as well. And Giannis, like we said earlier, I haven't really seen a whole lot to like at this point in time. So give us Jamie Siraj. Feeling good about that pick there.
Yeah, and Giannis can fall into the he's a tough guy that has got decent striking category again, which I mean we've all seen those guys don't do very well in the UFC. So all right, moving up. This one, I am pretty excited to see how this fight goes over. John Sexy Mexi Castaneda is taking on. Does Mark have a nickname? No.
It's not showing me one.
Mark the Mini Vlogden.
The mini Vologdin. Mini might not be the worst nickname for him, guys. He is 5'3", 65-inch reach. Um, Small little dude, but he pushes forward. He throws a lot of strikes, a lot of volume. He's very tough, very durable. John Castaneda has had a little bit of a losing streak going on. He's fighting really tough competition. Some close fights. His striking, I think, is decent. Um, he could implement the wrestling a little bit more in his game. He is a good wrestler. I think former Division II wrestler. He's got to start shooting takedowns, especially against guys that aren't great wrestlers. So if he can do that, I think he'll find success. He is going to be the bigger guy with the longer reach, which I like as well. And even though he may not have a ton of power in his hands, he does mix things up really well with the leg kicks, with body kicks, things of that nature as well. And Mark, he is like a short little dude, a short little target out there across from Sexy Mexi. And I think John could have a field day if he keeps him at range. And that was one of the things that we saw in Mark's Contender Series fight. Neither one of those guys were at range. They just came in close to the clinch and were going at it. It was a great fight, probably one of the best Contender Series fights we've ever seen as well. But John Castaneda being the bigger guy, I think he can wrestle, and I think he can outstrike Mark at range as long as he stays there. So give us John Castaneda.
Yeah, this one's like either side could be correct based off of who goes to their wheelhouse, right? If John fights the way he fought against Chris Gutierrez, the reason he lost a split decision is because he only shot one takedown. It was in the third round. Guess what? He got it. He shot one takedown and had like 4 minutes and 50 seconds of control time. If we shoot more takedowns, you easily get a win. It's not even a split decision. So that's why Brevin's saying that. Vologdin is just always going to have a tough time with that. At that size, 65-inch reach, man, you really got to get in the pocket, close up inside, to where no matter how good of striking you're going to have, you're going to get hit probably by something at some point. Now, everybody's like, oh, he's short. It's like the football lesson, right? The lower man wins. Sure. But if you do get put on the ground, now a bigger guy's on top of you on the ground, then it counteracts itself, because then it's hard as shit to get up, especially because John can grapple pretty well. We just have to go to it, right? Yeah. And you can't pick a guy in Vologdin that's truly mini. He's like this little miniature Marab thing I have back here on my desk. He's that size. You just can't pick a guy who, it's tough. It's tough when he has to get right in your face to land anything big. He trains at a great gym, so if you're back in Vologdin, I guess he got a good gym behind him. But yeah, we're taking Castaneda.
Yeah, 1000%. All right, this next fight should be a banger as well. We got Mitch Raposo taking on Alan Nascimento.
Yeah, this one should be pretty good because both of these guys are pretty decent grapplers. Okay, Mitch, his last couple fights, his grappling is what he's gone to make it close or get a win. Right, he's losing to Andre Lima. I don't remember the last time we saw Andre. Do you, Brevin? Has he fought for a while?
No, it's been a while.
It really has. Should have looked this up today when I was doing film, but that 3 canceled fights. Jesus Christ. We'll get to that next time he fights. But Andre Lima, good competition there. Split decision loss. Suma Derje, split decision loss. I personally don't think it was split, but that's neither here nor there. And then he's beaten Azat Maxim. Okay, Azat's pretty good. So Mitch Raposo's got a little bit of a resume here going. Right? He's losing to these guys, but it's good competition. Alan Nascimento is going to be the best grappler he has fought inside the UFC. Which Nascimento, not necessarily the best wrestler, necessarily offensive wrestling, but transition, sweeps, using subs to move to a spot and get to his feet. Very good at all of that. Trips in the clinch, extremely good. Okay, he's one of these guys that he doesn't need an offensive takedown to have a lot of control time. On the feet, this is what's going to make the fight interesting to see if Raposo can defend the grappling enough to stay on the feet. Mitch has to let his hands go quite a bit more than his volume shows in his previous fights. Okay, might be just because he's fighting better strikers. His boxing's okay. His volume is not great, and he's gonna need a lot of volume to beat Allen. Allen's striking, it's powerful, not necessarily the best. So I think Mitch could have success, but we're gonna take Nascimento. Very good grappling. We just don't like banking on Mitch having the most volume that he's had on top of a guy who's probably going to make him grapple a lot. Going to be tired. We're taking Nascimento.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Mitch Raposo will literally have to have the best performance he's ever had inside the octagon to beat Alan Nascimento. And we can't just sit here and say, oh, yeah, I think that's going to happen. And that's why we're picking him to win. I think Nascimento has shown if he does get the guys back, if he is on top of them on the ground, he's a very dangerous fighter, has so many wins via submission. And Mitch sometimes will go to the wrestling well. And he'll look for a takedown. And if he does against Nascimento, I could see a guillotine. He's got the long arms, a lot, not a lot, but longer than Mitch, um, as well as just the pure dominance when it comes to the jujitsu. And like JP said earlier, the sweeps. That's something that a lot of fighters in the UFC struggle with is when they are on their back, they really can't do much with it. And if they get up, sometimes it's a miracle. When Nascimento's on his back, it's almost offense because he's looking for those sweeps relentlessly. And more times than not, he gets them. And all of a sudden, he's in full mount. And the fight's going to be close to getting stopped and finished because he's a very dangerous fighter. So give us Nascimento. I hope the fight goes smooth for him. Sometimes he gets into some interesting striking exchanges and he doesn't move his head a lot and he eats a lot of big shots, but as long as he avoids that, he'll be just fine in the wrestling and grappling.
No kidding, man. We'll talk about somebody who doesn't look for sweeps and just likes to lay on their back like a baby later on. All right, moving up. First women's fight of the night. JJ Aldrich returns, taking on Jamie Lynn Horth.
Now, this is an interesting matchup between the two, but Jamie Lynn Horth, Canadian fighter, she's like a Canadian staple, and we'll talk about another Canadian staple later on the card as well. She's going to look to probably fight this fight either at range or in the clinch. Because when JJ comes in close, Jamie grabs for the clinch, and usually her fights take place in the clinch. But she is going to be, I think, the stronger between the two, and her striking to me is a little bit prettier. So in an ugly fight, give me the prettier striker, not looks wise, but technical and skill wise, Jamie Lynn Horth.
um, yeah. And like JJ's striking is okay. You know, when it's not the worst technique we've ever seen for a women's fighter for striking. She doesn't necessarily have a lot of power. She normally overwhelms girls with volume and wins a decision off of that. But like Brevin said, in Canada, Jamie Lynn's going to be bigger, and JJ's been prone to getting grapple fucked, and that's how she loses also. She either gets subbed or she'll lose a decision because she gets grappled up. I mean, you just got to pick Jamie Lynn on the fact of if she follows a game plan, more ways to win. We're taking Horth.
All right. Before we get to the next fight, let's take a quick second, JP, and say today's episode is sponsored by Coke Zero, 2 shots in every can. Oh, wait. There's no shots in this can.
In every can.
All right. Next fight, we're moving up. We've got Melissa Croden taking on Daria Zhelesniakova. I knew that was going to be rough. I didn't even practice, though. Zhelesniakova.
Zhelesniakova?
Sure. Yep. What Rosetta
Yer.
Stone's failing me. I actually canceled my subscription because I didn't appreciate the fact that I wasn't getting one-on-one tutoring. They said you need to do homework, you need to take this as a self-initiated class, and I didn't like that. I
Mm,
wanted to be taught, and they didn't teach me.
I see. I get it. You know, I get it. It's easier to hear somebody say it, right?
Exactly. Go ahead and say it for me.
Zhelesniakova.
Zhelesniakova.
See, I mean
Hey
that's
now.
example A. All right. But I mean, if you listen to some of the people in these TikTok comments, were a word I can't say on here. Oh, also shout out Radkey. Boys letting the F word fly. Jesus Christ! Every time that dude wins a fight, wild shit comes out the mic. But anyways, um, Croden and Zhelesniakova. Good fight. Close fight. Both girls can throw with conviction. I think this is similar to the Aldrich Horth fight. One girl's better in the clinch, and I think one girl's stronger with the takedowns. Daria has been proven to show that she can get beat up quite a bit on the ground, right? Melissa Mullins showed that. I understand she came back and beat her. Melissa couldn't get to her grappling then. This Melissa is big. She's very strong. She's a little slow on the feet, doesn't move her head. But when she clips you, she does have power. She throws straight. In the clinch, she has great elbows, great knees. I just think Daria doesn't have the ability to put Melissa Croden out. And I think that's her only path to victory. We're taking Melissa Croden.
Yeah, I think you said it best. I mean, really for Melissa, it's just going to be about avoid the big danger, start moving your head, or at least throw out enough strikes that you earn the respect of Daria and you're not getting pieced up on the feet. But she is big, she is strong, and I expect that if she needs to wrestle in this one, she will be able to. And once she's on top of you, it's going to be hard for Daria to get back up to her feet.
Yep. And she does, like, it might be slow. But you guys will see when she lands, it does take effect. All right. Moving up. Very interesting one. Tanner Boser returns. All right. Moser is about to break down the Boser. Phenomenal dad joke. All right. That was a great dad joke by my part. um, Going up against Gokhan Saricam.
Yeah, I feel like he's really doing himself a disservice for not having a cool nickname listed. Like, if you have a first name like Gokhan, I feel like there's a lot you can do with that.
True.
I don't know. Sounds like a name out of Mortal Kombat or something. But yeah, Tanner Boser, the Bulldozer Boser, Moser. Here we go. Um, Fought in the UFC for quite a long time. Didn't have them as much success at heavyweight as he expected. Ended up moving down to light heavyweight and then left the UFC, fought on the regional scene, came back in Canada to fight on this card at heavyweight. Um, he's got decent striking, but he's kind of an undersized heavyweight. And we've seen that sometimes pay dividends for some of these athletic guys, but he's getting up there in age. I don't think his hands are once what they were promised to be. And for his opponent, Gokhan, he is going to be a bigger heavyweight and he can wrestle. I like the wrestling. I like the power coming from Gokhan. We're going to take Gokhan's Saricam in this matchup. I think Tanner's just not got what it takes at this point in time to be competitive in this very, very poor heavyweight division. So that's saying a lot.
Yeah. And I mean, like you said, Tanner can strike a little bit. He's not like a bum, but Gokhan, he's going to be just as, if not more, athletic than Tanner is. His striking, I think, is up to par with Tanner's. It's very fast. He throws his right hand, his power hand, down the fucking middle. He's not a dweeb that loops it for no reason. And like you're saying, he can wrestle pretty well, whether it's defensively or he'll blast a fucking double fast as shit all the way across the cage. I think Tanner either is possibility of gassing out here or just has trouble with the speed.
It'll be a little bit too much. The lines are surprisingly close, but I like Gokhan a lot in that matchup. All right, we're moving up. So one of our favorite Nordic fighters, Robert Valentine is taking on Julian Leblanc.
Oh man. What a shit fight this is, huh? um I'm going to make it short and sweet. Valentine has had a shit start to his career. Lost to Loader, lost to Torres, the trash can Finney, and then got the shit kicked out of him by Teba Gautier. He's going to beat Julian Leblanc. We're taking Robert Valentine. LeBlanc sucks. We don't know what anybody sees. If you watch film on him and you like him, please show me what you're looking at. He's got a okay body kick. That's about it. Dude is so slow. So slow. I could probably fall asleep, wake back up, punch him in the face, and go back to bed before he even gets halfway across the cage. Dude sucks. All right, he needs to get rid of the name Julian. Okay, that's a disgrace of him having that name. And everybody's going to talk shit about Valentine quitting against Ateba. LeBlanc wouldn't even step into the cage against Ateba. Okay, we're taking Robert Valentine. This fight sucks.
This fight sucks, but I think it's a great opportunity for Valentine to show that he does belong in the UFC. He's had a rough start to the career, like JP mentioned, fought three really, really tough opponents, hasn't really been able to find his footing. But JP, this is the spot. This is a spot for Valentine to
It's
really
got to be.
show that he's not a bum. And if he's losing to LeBlanc, then I think it's cut time for Valentine. I love the tattoos. He's kind of a wild man. He'll get after it. He's down to throw down, and that's what I like about him. Um, and in this one, JP doesn't really have to worry about big time power. He doesn't have to worry about wrestling. And that's what has gotten him in the past, right? So
Hey,
I think he'll
split
be fine.
decision against Torres Finney, dog.
Yeah, that was the craziest split decision of all time. But you know what? It was deserved because Torres Finney is so boring. Um, but yeah, give us Valentine. I hope he gets his first UFC win.
Wasn't it 30-27 was the Valentine scorecard too?
Well, yeah, it was. Yeah, he had all three rounds for
Because it
Valentine.
was like a boxing judge or some shit, bro.
Yeah, yeah, and Torres Finney didn't land any strikes, but landed like 25 takedowns every single round.
Oh man. I remember when I heard that and I was like, that's we can't be doing that. But also thank you. Like I love it. Send a message to Torres, okay?
Yep.
And then thank God he lost. Shout out Malcoon. All right. Moving up. This one should be a good striking battle here. Dennis Buzukja is taking on Marcio Barbosa.
Yeah, this should be a good matchup between the two. Buzukja is going to come in a little bit longer or a little bit taller, excuse me, but their reach is almost identical. Buzukja, 1-3 in the UFC, has been in some back and forth battles. Split decision against Francis Marshall, which is pretty impressive. He beat Connor Matthews, who has good power, and then lost to Jamal Emmers. Lost to Sean Woodson. So like he has fought decent competition in the UFC. I just don't think it's going to be enough for him to get it done over Marcio Barbosa, who I believe is just the better striker. Look for this one to stay standing, but look for Barbosa to have the advantage. Give us Marcio Barbosa.
Yeah, Barbosa's another guy. He's kind of small, right? He doesn't have a massive reach, but he's very fast. He kind of throws everything in tight, right? He likes his short shovel uppercuts, those little hooks. And Bazooka's a guy where if you get close to him and you pressure him, he doesn't cut angles very well. He doesn't circle out and get on his bike very well. And he doesn't really shell up. He'll just kind of throw and fire back at you, which if he lands, sure, but like that's what gets him clipped quite a bit. So we think Marcio clips him in the pocket, something like that. We don't think either of them is going to go to the grappling wheelhouse whatsoever. We're taking Barbosa.
All right, moving up this main card, we have a UFC veteran, Thiago Moises, taking on a UFC prospect, Engage G Money Young.
G Money. Decent fight. Decent fight here. Okay. Thiago Moises. If The fact of he's only like 31, I think it is. That doesn't
Yeah.
shock you. I know we say it literally every time he fights. There's no way. There's no way. I've never believed it before until I've seen Michel Pereira and Thiago Moises. That people are saying that they lie about their birth certificate and their age and stuff.
It's the Brazilians.
Hey, might be some truth to that because this dude looks at least 37 years old. Okay. There's no way. But this should be a good fight. Moises, good grappler on the ground. Okay. Good submission artist. He'll work his way. On the feet, I wouldn't even say he's got much power. Doesn't have much volume. Okay. G Money, he's going to have the better striking, way more volume. He lands just under 6 strikes per minute. Okay. Love that. Dude will throw volume. He's got a chin on him. And he's had a tough run in the UFC. Okay. First of all, his Contender Series fight against Quillen Salkild. You guys know how high we are. You're probably just as high on him. Quillen shot like 24 takedowns that fight and got 11. And he's still not putting G Money out. Okay. If you lose to Quillen and don't get stopped, I mean, who did we just see him slump horribly with a head kick? Was that Hawkbaras or something? Am I thinking of that right?
Yeah. Yep.
Like, Quillen Salkild's an absolute killer right now. And then Evan Elder. Evan's pretty good. Okay? Evan's not bad. He's a tricky little vet. Both of them are going to the body quite a bit in that fight. And then beating Mahashate, right? Feel the way you want to feel about that. But I like how Gage mixes it up to the body, mixes it up to the head. He will throw volume. He's got decent takedown defense. I think Thiago's only way to win here is literally a Hail Mary sub. If he gets dropped and Gage follows him and isn't smart. Other than that, I think it's G Money all day. Give us Gage Young.
Yeah, I mean, give us the younger guy, the one that in UFC years is tremendously younger than Thiago Moises. Only being 31, he's got a lot of UFC experience. What, 15 fights? I think it is something crazy.
Yeah.
With Moises, JP touched on it. Good grappler. If it does get to the grappling, Moises, he possesses it. Gage can wrestle. You know, I just don't want him to be in the guard of Moises if he doesn't need to be. If he's outworking him on the feet, let's keep that fight standing. Tiago, he's a technical striker, but he doesn't move his head very well, and he is prone to getting hit. The chin's been tested as of late, and it hasn't really passed the test. So give us the young gun, G Money, to get it done.
Should be a decent fight. All right. Moving up, another Canadian staple. Jasmine Jasudavicious returns after, is it the Manon fight? Yep. After her Manon Furo loss. It's taking on Karini Silva.
Yeah. Jasmine, pressure fighter. She's going to like to press forward. She's a good grappler, striker, very well rounded, and she's fighting in her home country of Canada. Karini Silva, pressure grappler. You know, she's very active with the submission attempts, but more times than not, she's throwing them up off of her back. She's very comfortable being on her back, which has gotten her into trouble. In some of her fights, she has shown that she gets tired and she's very willing to accept bottom position. And I think that's just the trust in her BJJ. And you know what? Against Jasudavicious, it's really not going to cut it. If Jasudavicious is on top, she's very skilled as well with her jujitsu and on the feet. I just like Jasudavicious's pressure, quick hands, whereas Karini, she can land and she can land pretty heavy, but I don't think she's really going to throw out the volume that's going to make an impact against Jasudavicious. So give me Yasmin Jasudavicious to get it done.
Yeah, Brevin was nice about it. I won't be. Karine lays on her fucking back too much, and then she'll just lay there and put her hands behind her head and try and kick at you. She won't throw volume. She's a rat. She fights like a rat. You want somebody to fight for your money. Jasmine will. Karine won't. She's a baby. Get her out. Can't stand her. Cannot stand her. I don't think I'll ever pick her again. Literally at all. Even if she has a shot. In this fight, I truly don't. I don't think we're being biased, but get her out. Jasmine all the way.
Yeah, I think it's a good tune-up fight for Jasmine to get back into title contention in Canada, the home crowd. That's what this fight feels like to me, especially. So, Perini is just a good little tune-up fight.
I mean, it just. Oh, move on. We'll move on.
All right, let's move up to Mondel Nallo taking on Jai Herbert.
Should be a good fight. Another good striking fight here. All right, Jai Herbert. Everybody knows him. This guy dropped Ilya. This guy dropped Ilya. He did. And what else has he done? All right, he dropped Ilya and then got slumped. Since then, even before then, he's losing to Moicano. Right? He's beaten Kama Worthy. Anybody? Anybody? No? Okay. He's taken Kyle Nelson.
Kamala.
Kamala.
He beat Kamala?
He did. All right. And anybody who
Wow.
doesn't respect Kamala for getting in that ring, what do we do? Fake news. It wasn't Kamala. My Trump impression's terrible.
It was Hillary. We
Fake
knew
news.
it was Hillary.
It was Hillary before I put her in jail. She got her ass beat. I'd do it again. She started crying. I wouldn't have cried.
That wasn't bad. I think DeMott would be proud.
He's taking Kyle Nelson to a decision. Okay. Ludovic Klein draw. That one I'll give you some props on. That one's decent. Breziam, he's losing to. Yam's pretty good. He beats Rolando Bedoya. Sorry, just waiting to hear if anybody gives a shit. And then he loses to Chris Padilla. Okay. Jai Herbert's decent. He can strike a little bit. He's not great, though. All right. Everybody just sees he dropped Ilya. And then they kind of, for some reason, just hold him way up here. It's a similar point to, oh my God, Yuri's only lost to Alex Pereira. So he's just going to beat everybody else. Like, you're just seeing the name. And you're not really diving into it much after that. All right. His volume, it's okay. All right. It's just over 3. Sometimes Jai will get stuck in this because he's very light on his feet and he's quick. He's got great footwork, right? But he'll kind of get stuck in that. And then you'll feint or you'll throw something. He'll jump out of range. Then he'll jump back in, maybe pump out a jab, and that's it. Right? So sometimes his volume isn't really there. I don't want to say he's being too defensive, but he's just kind of caught watching, trying to get his rhythm, right? His grappling's okay. Definitely not a strength. Nallo, he's going to be a little bit bigger. I mean, Jai Herbert's bigger in both areas. I thought Nallo had the longer reach. But Nallo can strike, okay? His striking defense, we'll have to see how it goes. Jai doesn't necessarily come forward a lot. But Nallo will throw hands. He's got power. He'll throw straight. And Nallo can grapple, okay? If he gets your back, he's a problem. He's got a good body triangle. Watching interviews on this guy, I like the way he sounds. He sounds very intelligent, very smart. Like he thinks about his fights before, during, afterwards, all the things. He sounds like a guy who can make a game plan, follow a game plan. I believe he trains with Killcliff. Love that for him. More ways to win. Close fight on the feet, but more ways to win. We're taking Nallo.
Yeah, the mango. All right,
The
moving up.
mango.
That's his nickname. We've got the mango versus the black country banger, and it should be a banger. It's going to be a good fight. Moving up to the co-main though. This one I'm intrigued about. I'm excited to see who comes out on top. We've got Kyler Phillips taking on Charles Jourdain.
You want this one first? You want your boy
We'll
out
take
of
it.
Phoenix?
No. Um Yeah, no, good fight, a good fight between these two. Charles Jourdain, I'll tell you guys what, has looked really good since moving down. Has always been an aggressive striker. He's going to come forward. He throws good volume. He takes chances and risks, which I like. But once he moved down after the John Silva fight, looked really good against Victor Henry, and then once again against Davy Grant. That guillotine choke is a staple of his. Now we talk about, hey, guillotines, high level MMA doesn't work. Well, for Charles Jourdain, it may be his secret sauce at this new weight class. Kyler Phillips, though, his opponent never been submitted in his career. He's a good grappler, fights at the MMA lab. Who gives a damn? If I catch him out at the Trader Joe's, it's on site. Okay. All these Arizona fighters, besides a few, there's a couple that I like.
Delgado?
All of them can catch hands. I like Delgado now. Okay. We've come to terms, but a few of these other guys can't stand them. Okay. I don't listen, if I find you out at Trader Joe's, I think that would be actually really cool, and I'll probably ask you to come on to the show and do an interview with you, but hey, if you give me a bad answer, I'm ready to throw down as well. Um, but yeah, he's lost his last 2. JP will tell you this, and I'm excited for JP to go in on it. The volume for Kyler Phillips has to be increased. If he's ever going to do anything in the division, he has to ramp up his volume. He kind of just fights scared, hesitant. I don't know what it is. The last 2 fights, losses via unanimous decision, mainly because he's just not doing enough. He's skilled enough to, but he just doesn't do it. And JP kind of talked about earlier, do you want a guy that's going to fight for your money or one that doesn't? And I feel like Kyler Phillips doesn't want to fight for our money or his money. And I think Charles Jourdain does. So we're taking Charles Jourdain. Once again, Canadian, good fighter. Watch out for that guillotine choke. It would be a nice way to finish Kyler Phillips with the first time he's ever been submitted, if that's the case. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like the whole Walter Walker. Can we get 3 guillotines in a row?
I mean,
We'll see.
it'd be crazy. His squeeze on that gilly just got to be something else. Because, like Brevin said, we always say doesn't work in high level MMA, but some of these guys just perfected it.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar to the Darces and the Anacondas, right? There's some specialists out there for sure.
Like Luke, and I even told Brevin, I said that to Brevin. The moment we got into that north-south area, I was like, this is what I was worried about.
Yikes.
Like, what was it? Like 25, 30 seconds after that, Kelvin's tapping. Yeah. I mean, some of these guys just really perfect those positions. And you got to, going into the fight, I would be, if I'm the coach, just telling them, hey, if we get there, you got to do everything in your power to just get out and avoid it. Like, you give up your back or whatever it is. Don't get to that one position. But yeah, with that being said, Kyler's going to fight like a bitch. Okay? I'll say it. I ain't running from any smoke. There's a difference between being on your bike and using footwork and then being on your bike, you're still on your bike, you're on your bike, you're Conor McGregor on your bike, getting hit by a car on your bike. Bro, at some point, plant your feet and fucking throw something. Are you in a fight or do you want to go run a fucking marathon? Can't stand it. Same way as Karine Silva, laying on her back, putting her arms behind like she's lounging in a chair, right? Like she's waiting for somebody to throw popcorn in her mouth. Oh, we're chilling. Fucking losers. Yep. He's just going to do that. Okay? And then Brevin said he's never been submitted. Probably because this dude's fucking running the whole goddamn time. People want to say, Yusuf Zalal running. He'll climb your back like a spider monkey and choke you out. Not my fault he's got better footwork. Kyler Phillips is an example of a guy who's literally just going to run the whole fight. Taking Charles Jourdain.
Jourdain, the one that cost us the perfect card. And looking back, JP, looking back on that fight, it's so clear now. It is so clear now, but we didn't know what Jean Silva was going to turn out to be.
No, we're like this. Who is this loser barking before fights? Like, this guy's a weirdo. And then he just slumps him, bro. Like, well, it is what it is, I guess.
We had it in the bag. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that takes us to the fight that you've been waiting for. The main event of the evening between Gilbert Burns and Mike 3000 Malott.
Yeah. Shout out Andre 3000. Okay. Outcast, great band. Interesting fight, guys. Mikey. If you know our history with the channel, you know we just love Mike Malott. Okay, Mike Malott. It's just winning, dominating Neil Magny. and then gets the shit kicked out of him in the third round. It was short and sweet. Okay, Gilbert's 39. Gilbert's had multiple wars, the JDM war. People want to bring up the Khamzat. People, Brevin, to this day, this is why I sit here and say, like, this community, half of it makes absolutely no fucking sense. They're still using the fact that Gilbert took Khamzat long and made Khamzat look the most human we've seen him. That was in 2022. Who fucking cares? Excuse my French. All right, that war, the JDM war. Then he's been knocked out by Michael Morales, right? Sean Brady grappling him up. Bilal Muhammad doing what he does.
My Canelo hands.
Shut up, loser. I'm just pissed today. I'm pissed. Yeah.
I love it. I love this energy that you're bringing to the channel today.
He's 39, man. And we enjoyed Gilbert, right? He had power in his hands, crazy good grappler, willing to come and fight. But I think he had his time. Mike Malott, we talk about these Canadian staples. Mike Malott is the star boy of these Canadian fighters, right? He doesn't fight anywhere else. Feel the way you want to feel about his Kevin Holland win. Kevin Holland just got a win. That's another guy we can't get right, which is better for you guys because whatever side we pick the opposite side. But Mike is very well-rounded. He can grapple. He has somewhat of cardio. I won't sit here and say he's got power, but he does have precision. He can aim his shots very well and place them. We're in Canada. There's just no reason, unless you truly do not like Mike Malott, to fade him. We're taking Mike Malott, the Canadian fighter in Canada. It just seems like it's his time now.
And that's what it feels like here. It's his time. It's the right place, the right card, the right opponent at this point in Gilbert Burns' career. Now, when you look at the history of Gilbert Burns, you can make an argument that he's the best fighter Mike Malott's ever fought, which is probably true. But this version of Gilbert Burns is not the version of Gilbert Burns that fought Khamzat, like JP was saying, like he was a couple years back when he's fighting, for fighting all these big time events on pay-per-views and everything like that. Now 39 years old, the chin's starting to go a little bit. Still a good grappler, yes, but Mike Malott also very skilled, and I think the cardio has been cleaned up. And if this fight does go into deep waters, I still expect Mike to be the cleaner striker between the two. And I think he's also one of these guys that he's the guy right now. Like this is his time, like JP said. So give us Mike Malott. It's a good fight. And if Gilbert Burns pulls one out of his hat, I wouldn't be too upset for him. I like the guy. They have their little thing with Matty Betts and Moicano got the win, and maybe Gilbert can pull something out. We'll see. Matty Betts is probably going to be throwing big time money on Gilbert Burns via sub or something this week. But give us Mike Malott. I'm not going to sit here and convince you to pick Gilbert Burns. But if you want to, go ahead. I like Mike Malott a little bit better.
I mean, you're putting your faith in a guy who's definitely past his prime. I don't know. It's a tough one because, like you're saying, there is some truth to it. He is the best fighter he's fought by far, but it's just the timing of when they're fighting.
I agree. Well, that does it for the card. It doesn't do it for the show. Don't go anywhere. We have your free show parlays coming your way right freaking now, JP. Starting with Locked Door MMA's lock of the night. Who are we locking up?
Pretty obvious. All right. It's kind of a tough card to find a lock. Last weekend, we didn't even touch on it. I thought we were going to get it done. Okay. Second round came around. Started walking Paulo down. Landon. Paulo was getting tired. His mouth breathing heavy. And I was like, Brevin, here we go. Here we go. We just took too many kicks to the arms at the beginning of the fight. Snapped his arm. You saw him try and throw it. That thing was broke. Paulo looked great. But this weekend, we're going back to the main event. We're locking our boy, the Canadian fighter, Mike Malott, star boy of Canada. He's getting it done.
Yeah. He's one of the fighters we can trust at this point. A lot of newcomers on the card, but Mike Malott is not a newcomer. We think he's going to get it done. And that's going to move us on to Brevin's basic for this card. Let's start with that lock. Mike Malott to get it done. Let's throw him in there. And then give me the Brazilian Barbosa to get it done. Throw him in there. And then finally, we're going to take a women's fighter fighting a Brazilian. Give me Jasudavicious. She's going to get it done as well. Put all three of them together for your Brevin's basic this week.
Good one. Good one. We're trying to get back on track this weekend, okay? Not too upset about the record, like I said, but this weekend, we're definitely in the right direction. Sit down, shut up, juicer time. We're starting from the main event, and we're going down because we are doing a main card juicer, okay? No more of this crap. First fight of the night, dog money. Kid can't even throw a calf kick. Almost gets a submission. Jesus Christ. Throw the lock in there, okay? And Mike Malott is the lock. He owes us, okay? And he's working it down, okay? There's quite a bit of interest on that, all right? We're thinking about suing him for, what is it? Grief or whatever they call it.
Yeah, grief.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's working his debt down to us, okay? But he's the lock this weekend. He's going to do it even more. Throw in Mike Malott, co-main, Charles Jourdain. Kyler Phillips is going to do what? Get on his bike and then sit on his bike, and he's riding his bike while he's getting on his bike. Who cares? Charles Jourdain, throw him on there. Mango, Nallo, okay? Throw him in there. We think he gets it done over Herbert. Might be a sweaty one. All right, that's going to be a good stand-up battle. Jasmine, throw her on there. All right, Karine Silva's going to be doing her crunches, laying on her back. Give the baby a baba. Who cares? Give me Jasmine. Gage G Money Young. Okay, dude's a dog. He's going to get it done by just being a dog. Body, head. He's got good grappling defense. Moises kind of chinny. He's getting it done. And then the last one, Barbosa over Buzukja. Barbosa's fast, good striking. That's probably going to stay on the feet. Buzukja's never really been a guy to instigate his own grappling. Hopefully he knocks him out. We'll have to see. Plus 875 currently. It's a baby juicer, but it's juiced.
Baby juice. We're just a little thirsty this week because the juicer has hit in 2026, not once, but twice. And was it back-to-back weeks?
I think so. Hasn't it hit 3 times because it was one, then it missed one?
You're right. You're right. And then we had the back-to-back.
Yeah.
Yep. You are right. We were blessed. All right. JP, another fun weekend of fights. I'm excited for it. Guys, if you've made it this far in this episode, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment with who you got winning this week, and hit that subscribe button. It's free to do. The road to 1,000 has been initiated. You guys are helping us get there. Continue to help us on that journey. JP, we've got the NFL draft coming up. I think we know who your team is picking. My team has 2 first-round picks. I hope you're just as excited for the draft as I am.
Where are yours?
Number 9 and then number 29.
You imagine you pair yours together and then move up to like 2 or 3? I don't know what you would do it for.
No, I don't think you would pair the 2 of them. I mean, honestly, I think you could you could just pick swap the 9 and then throw in a mid-round or a late-round draft pick to move up. And there's been talks of us doing it. I think we could possibly go up and get our edge rusher. You know, there's some good ones in the draft, and if you're high on David Bailey, Arvel Reese, go get them, you know?
True. Get somebody to help out Karlaftis.
Oh, Chrissy and Karlaftis.
Karlaftis is the only one from his draft class that is still there, right?
That's right. We got rid of McDuffie.
That's crazy, too. You guys are probably going to find a all-pro corner again somewhere. Jesus Christ, that's crazy. But yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, we're taking all the people out there that still say that we're not taking Mendoza. Okay. Dan Arlovsky. I've never seen somebody who just talks so much and just says random shit. I guess you can say Stephen A. Smith, but Arlovsky just makes absolutely no sense. And Pat McAfee's like, we watched Mendoza playing the biggest games. What biggest games? This freaking guy, dude. But yeah, we appreciate everybody. Okay, road to 1K, almost there. And you know what it is, road to 2K. All right, help your boys out. It's free. Like, subscribe. Go down in the comments. Say something. Go to TikTok. Go to Instagram. Hey, lately, this last couple weeks, your boys have been having a field day in the comments. Everybody lit us up for the Oldberg pick. Shocker. What we said was going to happen happened, and then we're lucky. And then we hit a good card, and then it's an easy card. You guys know how
And
it
what
goes.
about Curtis Blades?
What about Curtis Blades? What about it, dude? Oh, you were sweating your ass off for Carlos Oldberg, but Curtis Blades got his ass beat. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, pal.
They're fans.
Yeah, man. It's a good time. It's a good time. All right, another weekend, another set of fights. We'll see how the card goes. Don't judge it yet. But should be decent. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, it was a pleasure. Bingo! Bingo, baby! Hey!